Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Hazy here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's the 5th Wednesday of the month, which means we're outside of our usual shipping schedule, but there's lots of great books to talk about. Real excited about a lot of things coming out this week. Gonna start with this guy. This is X-Men Prime #1. This is the first of the huge X reboot, relaunch, whatever you want to call it, that they've got going on, and following up Inhumans versus X-Men and all the other stuff that's been going on in the X titles over the years. This is the one-shot that will feed into X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold that are rolling out over the next couple of weeks. If you're any kind of X-Men fan and you've been outside the X-verse for a long time, now is your chance to jump back in. I've checked this book out. The art's really good. Looks like a lot of fun. Really big time for the X books. So, like I say, make sure you check that out. That is definitely Book of the Week this week. And next week, when X-Men Blue comes out, you'll be glad that you'd already grabbed that one. Inhumans Prime also rolls out this week. Also follows up on Inhumans versus X-Men. Also will roll into the next big thing, Royals #1, that's rolling out either next week or the week after. I'm a big Black Bolt fan. I'm real excited that they've been doing all kinds of cool things with the Inhumans. Call it marketing, call it whatever you will. I've felt like the Inhumans have been sort of in the shadow of the Marvel Universe for decades. And like I say, it's really great to see those guys back in the forefront of comics. All New X-Men 19 is your last issue of All New X-Men. Again, this will feed into X-Men Blue that rolls out next week. A little sorry to see this one go. I've kind of enjoyed All New X-Men. I've enjoyed the take on the first run of it. Done a lot of cool things with these characters in a short amount of time. Again, good time to be an X fan. Old Man Logan. A lot of talk about this guy. Don't really need to talk about this book too much because it's probably already on your subscription list, or you're probably already waiting in front of your comic shop to grab this one. Trades have been selling out, so if for some reason you haven't been reading Old Man Logan, you should definitely jump in on that one. And Extraordinary X-Men for that matter. Infamous Iron Man wraps up its first arc. You can grab the Black Cat pack of 1 through 6. This is number 6, the latest issue. Very, very cool book. Victor Von Doom as Iron Man. Really been enjoying that. Mighty Captain Marvel. Avengers in one of their flashback titles. I think that's 5.1. Cool stuff. Occupy Avengers is your other A-Team book of the week. Black Widow. It's a book that might be flying under your radar, but like I always like to say, great stories, great art. Good time to jump in on that one. Deadpool, Mercs for Money is your only Deadpool book for the week. Ghost Rider #5. Man-Thing #2. A lot of horror books this week from the Marvel guys. This is by R.L. Stine. If you're one of the 3 people that didn't grab the first issue of this, we might have a couple lying around. You definitely want to jump in on that one. Star-Lord and Thanos are your outer space books for the week. Everybody's reading Thanos these days. Again, if you're one of the 3 people that's not reading this, you definitely want to grab the first issue and catch up to this week's. Great stuff. A lot of talk about this guy. And Thunderbolts rounds out your Marvel stuff for the week. Pretty classic shot for the cover right there. Very small week for the DC guys. Very small. Because like I said, it's the 5th Wednesday and we're kind of outside their usual bi-weekly shipping schedule. However, they have some really, really awesome books to talk about. Like this one. Dark Knight 3, Master Race #8. No, it's not the last issue. It's rolling out one more. This is number 8 of 9. Thanks to reprints, we've got all the previous issues back in stock. So if there's one you've missed, definitely want to grab that and catch up to the latest issue. Everybody loves Dark Knight Returns. Can't say enough about Frank Miller Batman. But, unbelievably, that's not the big DC books to talk about this week. We got 4 one-shots with crossovers between the DC Universe and their Hanna-Barbera reboot stuff. This is Adam Strange Future Quest. Future Quest is probably the best of that reboot stuff. This is Green Lantern Space Ghost. the one I'm most excited about because I love me some Space Ghost. And of course I'm a big Green Lantern fan too. Been encouraging you guys to check out this Hanna-Barbera stuff. The books have been really good. While you're grabbing these mashup one-shots, you can grab the trade paperbacks to all of the other core Hanna-Barbera titles. Booster Gold Flintstones is a matchup you've waited thousands of years for. And the Suicide Squad Banana Splits is the book you didn't even know you wanted, but here it is. They've also got really cool backup features with some of the other Hanna-Barbera characters like Top Cat. You may not even know who Top Cat is unless you're 100 years old like me, but I love me some Top Cat. Again, these one-shots are just a whole lot of fun. One of the best ideas to come around in a long time. Really encourage you guys to grab those. Grab the trade paperbacks for Scooby Apocalypse, Flintstones, Future Quest, Wacky Raceland, all that good stuff. And speaking of team-ups, here's Harley Quinn teaming up with Lobo in your latest issue of Harley's Little Black Book. This book doesn't come out very often, but when it does, it's really awesome. And what's cooler than teaming up with Lobo? It's so cool to team up with Lobo that they put him on the cover of Justice League of America as well. If this one has been flying under your radar, you definitely got to catch up. This is Batman's Justice League team. Cool stuff. And again, it's the 5th Wednesday, which always means annuals. And speaking of team-ups, and speaking of annuals, this is Batgirl teaming up with Supergirl in the first of the Rebirth annuals. And this is Titans taking on the Justice League in the first of their Rebirth annuals. And last but not least is the Kamandi Challenge. This is number 3. I hope you grab number 1 and 2 because they've sold out. This book is a whole lot of fun. A different creative team with every issue, and they write it into a cliffhanger, so the new creative team has to finish their cliffhanger and leave it with another cliffhanger. This book's been a lot of fun. If you don't know who Kamandi is, you definitely got a little homework to do. He's one of those great classic Kirby characters. Grab yourself the first issue, catch up to this week's, because nothing's cooler than Kamandi. And of course, DC does a lot more of the Rebirth stuff. Clean Room and Unfollow are your Vertigo books for the week. Always encouraging you guys to have Vertigo titles on your list. And it's a really, really awesome week for everybody else. Always like talking up the great stuff that Dark Horse does. This is the first issue of the latest Lobster Johnson stuff. Part of the Hellboy, BPRD, Abe Sapien, Lobster Johnson stuff I'm always talking about. If for some reason you've been holding out on me all these years, here's the first issue so you can check out some Lobster Johnson. The Visitor, number 2. More Mike Mignola magic, because you know I'm always talking up the Mignola stuff. But Dark Horse does a whole lot more than that, like Serenity. Always talking up the Whedonverse stuff. You love some Firefly, you love some Serenity. But you might also love some Conan the Slayer for some Barbarian action. Or if you don't like Barbarian action, how about Aliens Defiance or Alien vs. Predator? Dark Horse has all kinds of stuff. So if you don't have a Dark Horse book on your list, go to their website, check out the huge range of awesome titles that they have, and find the book that's right for you. And of course, everybody knows Image has a ton of awesome books like Moonshine. This is Moonshine number 6. I don't have all 5 of the previous issues because they sell out too fast. Number 1's in like 6th printing right now. One of their many, many new red hot books, like this one and Monstrous and Paper Girls and Reborn, or Old Guard by my man Greg Rucka. That's just the 2nd issue, another one of their red hot books. Or Lazarus, one of their previous generation red hot books, also by my man Greg Rucka. Or Deadly Class, this is Deadly Class number 27 by my man Rick Remender. I like anything from Rick Remender. Again, if for some reason you don't have an Image book on your list, you got to go to their website, check out the huge range of books that Image does, and pick 1 or 10 of the awesome books from them. And all the other guys do great stuff too. Have to talk about Archie comics for a sec. This is Jughead the Hunger. This is one of those horror books coming from Archie, like Afterlife or Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Love me some Jughead, love me some Francavilla, love me the awesome job that Archie does with everything these days. All their horror comics are really great, but all of their other books, like Reggie and Me, are also really awesome. They've got cool, I don't know what you'd say, not mature reader, but not all ages versions of Reggie and Betty and Veronica and Archie and all this stuff, just in time for your Riverdale show. Guys should definitely check all that out because it's really, really cool stuff. Speaking of really cool, Doc Savage gets a new #1. That's my Dynamite book of the week because I love me some Man of Bronze. One of my first comics was an old Marvel Doc Savage book. If you don't know who Doc Savage is, he's one of those super classic pulp characters. Do a little Googling, check out some Doc Savage, that's really great. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. It's my IDW book of the week because it's still written by Larry Hama. I don't talk enough about G.I. Joe, but Larry's been doing these tales for, I don't know, since I was a kid, and that was like 100 years ago. Everybody loves some G.I. Joe. Divinity 3 is my Valiant book of the week. Always telling you guys to have a Valiant book on your list. They do some really awesome specials like this Divinity stuff. They couldn't do a third one if the first two weren't that good. Rick and Morty is my Oni book of the week. Doctor Who, the Ninth Doctor. It's my Titan book of the week. It's the first part, that's a jump in. And WrestleMania 2017 special. It's my Boom Studios book of the week. I think that just about covers everybody on this wacky Fifth Wednesday. And Gem and the Holograms is sadly your only all ages book this week. Always encouraging you guys to have an all ages book on your list. If Gem and the Holograms isn't the book for you, take a spin through an all ages section and find one that is, because all the publishers have a great all ages title. And like I said, just a great week. Lots and lots of good books to check out from just about all the publishers putting out something awesome this week. So make sure you get down to your shop, check them all out, pick up something super fun to read. We're off to WonderCon down in Anaheim. WonderCon is one of the biggest, coolest conventions in the country. You can check us out.